Big exciting news to start your Monday morning as state stimulus checks are on their way. Meantime, state rent stimulus is being paid, state utility stimulus is being paid as well. And more states are expected to announce state stimulus checks throughout the week. This is in addition to state extended benefits being announced as well to give you coverage for UI and PUA so it would not lapse. Meantime, federal stimulus checks remain the battleground starting today, as Senator Josh Hawley and Senator Bernie Sanders take it to the mat, saying that anything that comes from any other direction will be blocked unless a standalone stimulus check bill is passed. Then MSC, yes, Joe Biden is still promising multiple stimulus checks coming in January. So you keeping a recap so far? State stimulus checks, state's rent stimulus check from the federal government this week, and then MSC in January. Oh, yeah, there's one other. The $2,400 for SSI and SSDI and Social Security and Railroad benefits, their stimulus check coming in January, along with all the other stimulus like hazard pay. Really exciting news. I have all the breaking details for you surfacing this Monday morning. I'm so glad you're here. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and this is Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mornings LALATE. I'm so glad you're here. Did you get through the weekend? You get ready to crush the Monday? Don't let the Monday crush you. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, but I still don't see that bacon. You didn't leave me the bacon. But I'm so glad you joined me because, boy, I'm giving viewers money right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, and not 5 years from now. And this video, I'll be going over the Minnesota, Maine, Colorado, New Mexico, Oregon, North Carolina, Houston, Pennsylvania, Jacksonville, Orange, Nome, Alaska stimulus checks that are in the mail or that you've already received shortly or about to receive, and the other states coming up after that. Then I'll be going over the rent stimulus, whether you're in Philadelphia, Mississippi, Kentucky, New York, Arizona, Georgia, and that as well. I want to show you getting money across the board. So please subscribe because no one's fighting to get you this money. Not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not 5 months from now. Right now, viewers have gotten about $500,000 since I started covering this about 2 weeks ago, and more covering it, getting it right now because states are actually rolling out massive amounts of stimulus. So please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel to ensure you do not miss any stimulus when it's announced. Also like this video. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. In this video, I'll be going over first the state stimulus checks that are being announced. 2, the state stimulus checks that are pending, that are possibly in the works, that are being battled between governors and state legislators. 3, the rent stimulus that is being announced across the country. 4th, the rent stimulus being paid by nonprofits. 5th, the federal stimulus check, the big one, the one that you always talk about, that one which Hawley and Sanders will be battling on today and tomorrow. And then we'll be turning to January, MSC, the federal stimulus that will give you multiple stimulus checks starting in January. The $2,400 SSI stimulus that would start in January. The hazard pay stimulus that would start in January. A lot of stimulus. I'm here, you're here, and let's get rocking and rolling. And this is the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here this morning, is that state stimulus checks and county stimulus checks have been announced. Now, what's important to understand is that some of these have already been paid. Some of them are on their way. You don't have to do anything to get it. You just simply qualify for them. They're generally for people of an income level lower, of a certain level or lower. If you don't hear your city, county, or state mentioned, stay with this channel because more cities and counties are announcing them by the minute. The reason why is that this is CARES Act 1 money. This is money from March. $150 billion given to cities and counties. They got to use it or lose it, and they're announcing it by the minute. And here we go. Minnesota, $500. You're getting $500. Maine, $600. Colorado, $375. $335. New Mexico, $1,200. North Carolina, $335. The city of Houston, $1,200. And then pending, Pennsylvania, also pending, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and Delaware. And last night we learned on Purple Power Live, if you didn't tune into it, it's every night at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, City of Austin, $2,000 stimulus check. Let's go to the counties. Jacksonville, $1,000. Orange, $1,200. That's Orange in Florida, not in California. Nome, Alaska, open. Also pending, Escambia, Florida. Fort Worth, Texas. Gadsden, Florida. If you know other cities or counties or states that are doing the stimulus check and I've left them off the list or I've missed them, drop me a DM at Twitter or at LALATE or on Instagram at LALATE_. So these are state, county, and city stimulus checks you're going to get if you're under an income level. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just be there and you'll get the check. Now, don't hear your city, don't hear your county, don't hear your state. You will get stimulus checks potentially in the next few days for other states that are not particularly large states. It's the larger states that I'm always concerned about. So I do not, in my heart, people are asking me what am I predicting. I don't think you'll ever see a stimulus check for California, Florida, and Texas, the whole state, the entire state. But I could be wrong. There are the state stimulus. Now, rent stimulus. Rent stimulus is being announced across the board. This is something you actually have to do. So you have to actually apply for this, but this is big money. This is more than $375. This is thousands of dollars, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, thousands of dollars. So where is the rent stimulus? First, let's do the official ones from the city, county, and state. Rent stimulus available now in San Diego County, Nashville, Harrisburg, PA. Let's head over to the east. Then we have a city of Atlanta, and we have counties across Georgia, Gwinnett, DeKalb, all paying rent stimulus to applicants who apply. You need to apply for it. You can't sit back and wait for it to land. It's not available indefinitely. All really exciting news. Again, that's Orange. Excuse me. That's San Diego County. Then we head over, and it's Harrisburg, Nashville, city of Atlanta, DeKalb, Gwinnett, and then New York, across parts of the New York state, paying for rent stimulus in cases of emergency. All really exciting news. Then we turn to local stimulus being paid by nonprofit organizations. Every night on Purple Power Live and on Purple, I detail those organizations. Too much to cover in this video. But the states where people are getting paid rent from viewers, the state where viewers of this channel have gotten paid rent from nonprofits are Mississippi, Philadelphia, Indiana, Kentucky, Las Vegas, New York, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, Delaware, Texas, El Paso, Rhode Island. And then it continues with much of the state of Texas, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Phoenix. If you're in any of those states, tune in to go catch them on Purple from last night. I went over each of those states with more. Then utility stimulus. Utility stimulus is being paid across the board. There's not a single city, county, or state that's not paying utility stimulus. You call up the utility company, you ask for utility stimulus, and ask them, hey, do you have utility stimulus? I'm having problems paying my utilities because of COVID. It's as simple as that. Finally, the same nonprofits that are national are paying for rent, utilities, food, and giving Christmas gifts in nearly most jurisdictions across the country. So if you're in a state or city that doesn't have anything from your government, then there's a nonprofit that's likely picking up the details and paying for rent, food, utilities, and providing gifts. If you have looked and still cannot find it, then go to the volunteers. The volunteers are at the community page, which is in the pinned comments up to the above, and also the pinned comment below. That's news.lalate.com/community. There's about 15 of them, and they're absolutely wonderful, and they're answering your questions. They have about 30 new people reaching out to them every day, so please have a little bit of patience with them, and they're absolutely incredible. Now, let's turn to that federal stimulus. I know you're asking about that. Okay, let's talk about the current federal stimulus check, the pending federal stimulus check for January, and everything thereon and thereafter. First, the federal stimulus check. Senator Josh Hawley, that's Hawley, Senator Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, AOC, and a whole list of people have stepped forward and say, you know what, we're in the Senate. Ultimately, anything for the continuing resolution bill has to pass the Senate, and we're going to block unless the stimulus check goes out. Let me explain what's going on. The federal government has to pass a budget bill every 3 months. The budget bill has to go to both the House, the Senate, and the White House. It can't just go into one location. It has to pass all three bodies. And it's done every 3 months, called continuing resolution, this budget bill, or CR. Well, you saw on Friday how the efforts of this channel have really just skyrocketed. Let me recap. About 5 weeks ago, I said to you, you know what, there's a continuing resolution coming up. They have to pass it. It has a deadline of December 11th. Let's argue for stimulus in the CR. And we started that, and I started the hashtag campaign on this channel, hashtag CR for stimulus. I remember tweeting it before the video announced it. People are like, what is he talking about? What's CR for stimulus? Well, that was to argue to put stimulus into the CR. Put it in the CR. Get it done by a deadline. We got it. Everyone involved said they're going to put stimulus in the CR. Good. First accomplishment achieved. Second, what are the provisions? That's when we had a problem. We saw that the provisions being put in by some naysayers into the CR that they proposed, not a bill, but proposals, were not the right ones. There was no stimulus check. That started the campaign, hashtag stimulus check or shutdown. Give us a stimulus check in these proposals, or don't pass a CR. Shut down this federal government. If a CR is not passed, the federal government shuts down. Last week, our voices were heard as two people, Hawley and Sanders, did exactly what we had asked for. First, Hawley wrote the standalone bill. Here it is. It's a standalone bill. It's 12 pages long. It's a standalone bill that says, send out a stimulus check, $1,200. It's not a CR bill. It's not a budget bill. It's just a bill for a stimulus check. He put it into the Senate. He wrote the bill. He put it into the Senate. He put it into the Senate floor. Just like I had done in July where I said, LALATE, write the bill. He wrote the bill, put it to the Senate floor. Sanders, Warren, and all the AOC and all the big other Democrats came forward and said, you know what, we love this, and we're going to block anything from the CR. And then came Thursday and Friday. This is what happened, yes, on Friday. On Friday, the Senate received an extension of the CR from the House, dominated by Nancy Pelosi. And Mitch McConnell said, yeah, you know, I'll extend this for a week. And then Sanders says, no, you won't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block you to get a 1 week extension unless you do my stimulus check bill with Josh. Mitch says, well, I got to get an extension. He says, okay, you know what, Mitch, this is the deal. I will give you a 1 week extension, which is to this week, on the proviso that when we start next week, you're going to pass my stimulus check bill. If you don't pass my stimulus check bill, nothing for the CR coming from left, right, north, south, anything coming into the Senate will pass, because we as a group will block anything from the CR being passed until you do a standalone stimulus check bill. It was the best move that I've heard anyone make in months. So where are we this morning then on this? Well, the bill is $1,200 adults, $500 dependents. The president has told Hawley he'll go $1,200 to $2,000 for a stimulus check. The president has suggested that he may veto any bill unless there's a stimulus check in there. And what's important to understand is that this is a reality. Everything else is so far fiction. There's talks about proposals and splitting things and splitting this. Let me make something very clear to you. First, there is no bill for the CR. No one has written a bill for the CR. What they've written is Post-it notes. Literally. Post-it notes, memos, proposals. No one has written an actual bill. So there's nothing to split except 2 Post-it notes. Take a Post-it note and split it into half. That's what you have. Second, it's important to understand that whenever anyone actually writes a bill for the CR, it's going to get blocked by this. It's going to be blocked by this. Because this is going to say, hey, you can do whatever you want to do with the CR. This is not the CR. This is a stimulus check. And we're going to block any passage of anything for the CR. And so what's important to understand is the microcosm, the vortex, the focus to get a stimulus out is Hawley, Sanders, AOC, Warren. Now, certain things need to be fixed. This does not have in here language that would make me comfortable. There's certain language in here that's a little bit problematic that might suggest that adult dependents do not get a stimulus check. Hawley and Sanders clearly don't want that to be the case, but the language of the bill's drafting, needs some tinkering. Next, you need PUA, UI extensions in this. Third, you need eviction moratorium. And fourth, you need a mortgage forbearance. UI, PUA, eviction moratorium, and mortgage forbearance all expire late December. You can't have them expire. You got to have them in this thing. And there you go. So ultimately, I don't care what I hear from Manchin, Mnuchin, Romney, Mitch, and all those other people, Tom and Jerry, the problem creators. I don't care what they say today, because ultimately, whatever they say is dependent upon what the Senate does. And if the Senate and the Senate force of Sanders, Hawley, AOC blocks anything from coming to a vote in the Senate, then you'll never have anything pass. You'll never have anything passed. And if the president is still on point to veto anything, unless it has a stimulus check in there, then you can write as much as you want to write, but it's going to get vetoed. It's as simple as that. Now, finally, another stimulus checks I had talked about at the opening of this video. MSC, $2,400, yes. So the $24 for SSI and SSDI, that would not be a single stimulus check, but it would be potentially in a standalone bill. The standalone bill would be introduced in January by Biden, and the standalone bill would have $200 on top of your existing payments for SSI and SSDI coming every month from January to December 31st. It's very easy. You don't have to do anything, come automatically. The next two things would also be automatic. First, an escalation of your benefits, about 20% lifetime. And third, a new benchmark that would tie your benefits to something other than COLA. All very great and very instant, automatic. Next, MSC. Yeah, Joe Biden's promising MSC. He has said he would give you multiple stimulus checks until the pandemic's over, which at this point looks like it could be about June of next year. Overnight, Bill Gates said the next 3 or 4 months will be the worst months of the pandemic, which is consistent with most of the theories. They think that January to March are going to be the worst months for this pandemic, and then most people will get vaccination around June, actually around April and May. So multiple stimulus checks. The amount, don't know. The routing, don't know. And then ultimately turning back to states and counties. I know I always get these questions, so I'm going to answer them right now. How about my state? Is my state sending out a stimulus check? Or what is the routing time for that stimulus check? Or how do I qualify for that stimulus check? Ultimately, it's too much news to report in one channel, and it's too much to know. What I want you to understand is that whatever I know, I'm reporting. So to the extent that something else newly is announced, I'll announce as soon as it goes live. And that's why you subscribe and hit the alert button. So for example, Austin, the viewer that told us about Austin last night, I wrote it down here for our live. Now I'm conveying it to you. That's the power of this medium. So if you know something, share it with me, and then I'll share it back with the rest of the viewers. There's nothing else that I know currently, but this is changing by the minute. The other thing that's changing by the minute is state extended benefits. States like Hawaii are stepping up and giving extra weeks of benefits. I've heard that New Jersey and New York are doing as well, giving additional weeks of benefits so you don't lapse around December 31st. So much hitting today, so much breaking, so stay with me throughout the day. Holidays LALATE is 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, and then we come back on air at afternoons at 3:30. As always, have a great day. Subscribe at the front of this channel, hit the alert button, and like this video. Stay with LALATE for more.